Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to show you the difference between a major and a minor chord, and I'm going to tell you how to find the major and minor chord for any note, and then how to correlate that to what chords in any key should be major and minor. Okay, so there's a lot to cover in this video, so let's get right into it. I'm going to use the key of C for teaching purposes, plus that's what you guys will be familiar with thanks to all of the videos we've had already, but this works for any note in any key and any chord in any key. So a C major, which we've played since the very first video, is essentially starting with your thumb on a C, which is the white key to the left of every patch of two black keys. So the black keys are grouped 2 and then 3 and then 2 and then 3. The C is to the left of any grouping of two keys. Okay, so thumb on a C and then skip one note, and you can play this with your index or middle. People will make arguments for both. But then you skip one note and then skip one more note, and you're playing a C, an E, and then also a G. And that's a full C major chord. And if you look at what's going on with the notes you're skipping, you'll see between your first and second note, you're skipping 3 notes total. So you're skipping 2 black keys and then the white key, the C sharp, the D, and the D sharp. And then between your second note that you're playing and your third note, you're only skipping 2 notes. Okay, so what we're doing here is called stacking triads, and you don't really need to know the terminology, but I'm going to throw it at you occasionally anyways. What you're doing is picking a note, a C, and you're skipping 3 notes, and this is called a major triad. And then you're skipping 2 notes, and this is called a minor triad. And what's very interesting is for any major chord, to play that chord in the major, you start with a note. So let's start here with a E, okay? We're going to skip 3 notes, and what you'll see here is that I have to skip 2 white keys and a black key to be able to skip 3 notes. So I'm playing E, and then the next note I'm playing is a G sharp. And then I have to skip 2 more notes, so the third note I'll be playing is a B. So I'm playing this E major, and it sounds really happy, right? Because I'm skipping 3 notes and I'm skipping 2 notes. So the C major and the E major, and for that matter an F major, a G major, a B major, an A major, any note that you're playing a major key is going to skip 3 notes and then 2 notes. That is how you have a major chord. The very interesting thing about a minor chord is all you're doing is flipping your triads. So in the way that a major chord skips 3 notes and then 2 notes, a minor chord, which obviously sounds a little more ominous, a little more sad, a little more negative, it's used to create mood in music, is actually just flipping the triads. So you skip 2 notes, and now you're playing a C and a D sharp instead of a C and an E, but your 5, your last note is going to remain the same because you're skipping 2 notes and then 3 notes, and that's how you get a basic minor chord. So there's a C minor, and it obviously sounds a little ominous. Here's an A minor. And now here's an A major, and you're going to hear the difference between an A minor and an A major. And my left hand is playing the same root note. It's just playing an A. And then my top hand is playing the major chord by skipping 3 notes between the A, 1, 2, 3, and then C sharp, and then skipping 2 more notes and playing in E. And so A major, but then if I want A minor, I skip 2 notes and I play A, C, and E. So all you have to do to switch between a major and a minor chord, if you're rooted on the same note and you want to switch between C major and C minor, all you have to do is change up that middle note that you play. The first and the last note can stay the same, and you just change between skipping 3 and then 2, and then skip 2 and then 3. Okay, so that's how to take any note on your keyboard and play both the minor and major note, minor and major chord off of that. So if you start from a C sharp and you want to skip 3 notes, you can get up to the F and then skip 2 more and you're at a G sharp. And so that's how you find the major. But then if you want to play C sharp minor, just skip 2 notes and play the E and then skip 3 notes and you're still on that G sharp. Okay, so that's super useful. You pick any note on the keyboard and you can find both the major and minor scale, minor chord off of that note. But how do you know whether in the key that you're in, you should be playing a major or a minor chord? And this is where the previous 2 videos that we've covered on the channel come in very handy. Because if you're in the key of C, which you'll remember is all the white keys and none of the black keys, very basically put, in the key of C major, all of the white keys sound harmonically pleasing with all of the white keys together. So none of the black keys, all of the white keys were in the key of C, because remember it's whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. If you don't know what that means, what I just said, be sure to check out the previous videos because that is going to contribute directly to what we're about to talk about. But because every chord in your key is made up of other notes that are also in that key, that should be a hint to you that in the key of C, how do I know if it should be major or minor? Well, my chord is going to be created with all the white keys, okay? So if I look at this basic shape of skipping every other note, and in the key of C, this shape is how you can play every chord. You can play 1 through back to 1 again, 1 through 7 with that same shape. That will tell you by default, is this chord supposed to be major or minor? And let's take a look at it. So C, 1 in the key of C major, not surprisingly, is a major. You can feel it's very optimistic. If you look at the notes you're skipping 3 and then 2. So that should be pretty clear that we're playing a major chord. Now if we go to the 2, 1 white key up, and just play that same shape, you'll see we're skipping 2 and then we're skipping 3. So interesting. So the 2 in a key is minor. Now let's go to the next white key. The 3, same deal. We're skipping 2 and then we're skipping 3. So we're still playing a minor chord. The 4, we're skipping 3 and then 2. And you can hear it as you play through these. The 5, major, right? We're skipping 3 and then we're skipping 2. The 6, minor. Okay, we're skipping 2 and then 3. And then the 7, bit of a funky chord, granted, but you'll notice we're skipping 2 and then we're skipping 2. And that's because actually the 7, which is rarely used in songwriting, certainly not in popular songwriting, is a bit of a funky case where it's actually what's considered a diminished 7th chord. So it's skipping 2 and then skipping 2. I threw that diminished 7th terminology at you. You don't have to worry about it too much right now, but you want to use this as a roadmap for 1 through 7. What chords should I play in my key? So if you're in C, then you have a C major, a D minor, an E minor, an F major, a G major, and an A minor, as well as a B diminished 7th, but let's ignore that for now. But so just by using C as your roadmap, you get a generic rule that's true for all keys, which is 1 is major, 2 is minor, 3 is minor, 4 is major, 5 is major, and 6 is minor. Okay? 7th is also a diminished 7th. But that's why the chord progression we talked about in the very first video on this channel, which is 1, 5, 6, 4, works so well because it's mostly these major chords, this uplifting 1, 5, and 4 combination, but it mixes a little bit of tension, a little bit of drama in with the A minor, which is your 6, okay? So essentially, a really positive song, you'll typically just find more major chords in it than minor chords because minor chords sound a little sad. But that is true of any key. So if you're in the key of G and you know that you have all the white keys with the exception that the F is actually F sharp and not F, but the rest of them white keys, you can do the same thing and know that you're at G, which is 1, and you can actually go backwards to the D, which is going to be the E, which is going to be the 6, and then back to the D, which is the 5, and then back to the C for your 4. Okay, so just using any key, if you know your 1 through 7 key notes and you keep that in mind, you can play through this really nice chord progression and know whether you need to play a minor or major key just by knowing how to make those two shapes, right? Which is just stacking either a major triad on a minor triad or vice versa, minor triad then a major triad. And you can play around with this as much as you want, but by these just 3 videos on the channel, you should understand how a basic chord progression works, how to find the notes in any key, and then how to know whether you need to play a major chord or a minor chord just based on your root note. Okay, so I hope you're finding these videos useful. Be sure to let me know in the comments what you'd like to see covered in depth on the channel, and let me know if there's anything you're confused about. I'll try to answer your questions. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, help the channel grow a little bit, and until next time, good luck with your playing and thanks for watching. Bye.